Thank you so much, Santa, for bringing those issues together. And if there is any other conversation that Nofen, Noor, and Santa would like to have between the two presentations, I think we have a little bit of time left for that. I would also like to open it up for the other co-organizers if they want to jump in and speak to something that really, spoke to them. So Nofen, Noor, and Santa.
I think I would like to say something actually. I want to say thank you so much, Santa, for the very important things that you bring up in your talk. They really echo a lot with what we also come through in our regions, and they resonate. They resonate so much. And one of the things maybe that I would also like to talk about is how much emphasis is put on queer on the materiality of queer without looking at the spirituality of queer as well. So we find, for instance, in many areas across the world, the way non-normative sexualities and genders are understood is very much related to the spiritual. I mean, there is the phenomena of, not even phenomena, I hate this word, I take it back. There is, for instance, the female husbands being followed by male spirits, for instance, in some African traditions of understanding, same-sex women relationships. And there is even in some areas in Morocco where homosexuality is understood also in relation to genies and spirits. There are other areas. I mean, for instance, in Algeria, there is documentation of some actual marriage contracts between human beings and genies. And all of these issues that are also being very much sidelined by the mainstream global queer narrative that we also need to bring to the forefront of conversations around queerness and what it means. So that's what I wanted to add and say thank you, Santa.
Yeah. There are a lot of narratives which we fail to reach out. For example, in Manipur, in our belief system, we have transgender shaman, which connect with God. Okay, so I have made one movie, and the name of the movie is The Unheard Voice. So this narrative is completely erased now, and also this community are also, like as they belongs to the non-binary gender and sexuality identity, they also face a very acute discrimination even within the shaman community, because in Manipur, shaman can be from biological women, shaman can be from transgender women also. Okay, but actually the transgender women shaman has been suppressed and oppressed by the biological women because they are well accepted by the society. But this men shaman, they were once very much respected and regarded in the king's time. Okay, they were employed, they had this well established institution in the king palace. Now with the development and the globalization, everything is erasing slowly. And in one of my recent documentation, which I did it under Heinrich Ball Foundation support, it's kind of, like they are tagged as an endangered community. So the number of the population of the community is like around 20 only now. So earlier they were very much, but actually due to this constant trade and operation, they are not able to come out. If people have this spiritual processing, then they don't want to come out. And they have been excluded from many ritual spaces like Lai Harauba. We have one annual festival called Lai Harauba where you will be doing all these devotional activities to the local deity. Okay, so when they perform, they they present as a women, full women, and they worn a very unique dress with long skirt, white skirt, long sleeve shirt, and then they will put big flowers in their hair. So they're very beautiful. And also I am trying to reclaim this and preserve this tradition, because when I grew up, I still remember how these peoples were, like enjoying their freedom, articulating their liberty in the ritual space. And then after some time, I had stopped seeing them in these ritual spaces. So I have started asking to people why these people didn't come out. Then eventually I got the answer from this community, and they were very, very upset. And this is again, not only at the exclusion is not only affecting to their shaman profession, but actually it also affects to their rights to life, because this is a platform where this community get their livelihood. So we need to raise this kind of stories also. But actually, because we have a very limited forum where we could able to place such narratives, because like people are always trying to pick up the mainstream subject. For example, in my presentation, I have already mentioned about even trans men in India. Trans men are very, very much less represented. And it's like, trans women are at the forefront. And there is a lot of unequal in the representation also, in the national policies, program, and national legal development. Trans men is like unseen, completely unseen. So this is something which we also need to understand, and why this India government has come up with this trans act is, according to my readings, India is, the current political situation of India is like the peoples are very fanatic, okay, very Hindu type. So they wanted to create a what to say, ultra nation. In Hindi it's called Hindu Rashtriya. So they wanted to convert everybody Hindu. And then in the Hindu methodology, trans women, kind of eunuch, okay, it's not actually a trans woman, but actually those people who are castrated, okay, they were very much visible in many Hindu methodology. So relating with that stories, the government is trying to preserve their religion, telling that we have these peoples and they have this divine power, we respect them. It's not that they understand the human rights of queer peoples. It's not about their understanding of queer peoples. It's all about relating the queer narratives with the religion. They are legitimizing trans narratives with the religion. That's why many of the trans men are completely left out in the development.
Thank you so much.
I think I wanted to add something to it. Resonated with us as well and our work, Santa, is when you talked about class and language, and that's exactly what we find back home. Like back home, when I say like the region, is when people use certain language, they have more accessibility to the NGO sector, for example, even to LGBTQ, for example. Like if I want to think about who identify with these letters, the LGBTQ plus, are the people who come from upper middle class families. Like I can give you an example. There are this Syrian couple who were refugees in Turkey, and they wanted to apply for asylum to go to a Western country, And in their interviews with the case management at UNHCR, they asked them, so are you gay? And they were like, no, we just fell in love. We're not gay, we're not anything, we just fell in love. And they were refused entry, or their application was rejected because they don't have that language of privilege that would allow them. And also we heard other stories from our friends who now left Turkey, is like they had to act in a certain way. Like if they're gay, they need to wear some earrings and to be a bit feminine and to act like they're gay, act gay. So even the performance, the language, the cultural language as well, that also, it gives accessibility, whether you will get access to certain resources, asylum in this case, and not. So it resonated with what we hear in our work as well.
Yes, definitely.
A lot.
Yeah, exactly. In my state, you'll find a lot of women couples, a lot of trans men couples, but these women couples, okay, this women partner, if you go to them and then ask them about their gender identity, sexuality identity, they will say, I'm a woman and this is my this is my lover. This is like a woman loving a woman. But actually they are not completely aware of this terminology, lesbian, bisexual, okay, but they are very much visible. So, but actually when NGO comes, you know, like they comes with this LGBT project, and then they do reaching out to the community, and they found these peoples, and they just, you know, without getting the proper nomenclature from this respondent in the interview, they just write down lesbian couple.
Exactly.
So this is something which, you know, like even I try to tell this to people also, people ignore me, people don't like me, because my belief and then my experience is very different. So I'm always outside the you know, outside the scenario.
I know, we get
Right.
you.
Same.
We get you. We feel outside of this community. We don't belong. Yeah,
Yeah.
we feel you completely.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not part of that mainstream, because we find it also very
And if you love a woman, if you are very much close to a woman, I'm a woman, people calls me ita. Ita meaning like the friendship between two women. If Noor is very close friend to Noor, then both of you are ita. Okay. So ita is this is a term which we use. For two men, we use ita. But actually these terms has been, you know, like it's completely erased.
Exactly.
Totally. The same. I mean, we have this project in Arabic as well, because, you know, people come and say Arabic is short of words to describe sex and sexuality and all of that. And we started this project of actually, no, if we look at books, we have more than 20 words that describe male gayness, more than 20 words that describe male gayness in different ways. So it's not that the Arabic is not enough
And
as a
lesbianism.
language,
And
lesbianism as well. So it's not that the Arabic is not enough as a language, or any other language is not enough. It's the fact that what you're trying to import from English into other languages is failing massively to resonate with people on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's important for us to, you know, like for the grassroots level, grassroots worker like me, my intention is to do literature review from the queer perspective, which I'm doing right now. So everything is very queer, no? Everything is very queer. It depends upon how you read the literature. So when people read the literature, yeah, they will just follow the all schooling type of interpretation. That's why I have done this research. And you know, like otherwise, you know, like people will always claim that in our society you don't exist, but actually we do exist. This is my claim.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to jump in here because we have another panel, and I'm really sorry to break this up. I think a successful panel is where the panelists are having a telephone conversation with each other and letting the conversation flow so organically. So hopefully we'll be able to have these conversations in other circumstances, preferably offline. So thank you so much for being with us all, everyone who came to watch this brilliance. And I hope that we can collaborate sometime in future as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good
day. Bye.
Lovely meeting you all. Bye.
Yeah, me too.
Bye.
Keep in touch with me. Keep in touch with me.
We would love to. We would love to.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.